This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan, with your host, Nancy Smitham, and get the latest from Alpena Community College with Dr. Don McMaster. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Good morning and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Nancy Smitham. My first guest today is Ann Diamond from Mid-Michigan Medical Center Development Council. Good morning, Ann.
Hi, Nancy.
So glad that you're here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me today.
Yes, and I just wanted to bring up an event that I was able to attend a couple of weeks ago, Development Council. Everyone from all the committees was there, and I was amazed at how many people came and the commitment that everyone had to the Development Council.
Absolutely. The Development Council is kind of a Mid-Michigan Health Foundation. When we affiliated with Mid-Michigan Health, none of their other hospitals or medical centers had development councils. So we're kind of a new thing for them, but they've really seen how important it is to have community volunteers, and they're so impressed with all the people in Alpena that volunteer for so many different things, and the Development Council and what they do.
And you know, the people that were there at the meeting, every walk of life, we had doctors, we had insurance people, we had CEOs of companies, we had people who just volunteer, don't work, and it was a cross mix of people, but one thing was evident in the room. Everyone was passionate about the new tower project.
Absolutely. You know, the Development Council is made up of, intentionally made up of 5 different committees, and it's been going on for about 25 years now. And it's intentionally made up of 5 different committees to reach people in all walks of life, like you said. So they're all going to be working together as we embark on our new project. You'll be hearing a lot more about that a little later on. I know you saw some renderings, and we'll get those out in the community. We plan on breaking ground in June for the new patient tower, which will be all private rooms, operating room, and women's health unit also.
And one of the things that I'm most excited about the towers, and it might seem a small thing to someone, but when you go in and have outpatient surgery, you're going to be wheeled out a separate door. You won't be wheeled out in front of everyone. You know, having been there in the past and coming back and forth, people say, oh, I saw you at the hospital. What's going on? And what's happening? I mean, your privacy and everything was kind of not so good. So that'll be a wonderful, wonderful addition.
Absolutely. There will be a separate exit for surgical patients and people undergoing procedures and things like that. So that will be really something that will be beneficial for everyone.
And you know, I have to say, you had mentioned Mid-Michigan, that the people from Mid-Michigan, from Midland that were there, you know, they're dedicated too, and they were totally not what you'd expect from corporate, you know, corporate hospital. They were warm and friendly and welcoming, and you were right. They were so pleased to see the support that you and the Development Council have garnered for the project.
Well, you know, the Development Council is just a really, really good model, and I have the privilege of working with 45, 50 community volunteers serving on all these different committees. And you know, when we first affiliated, they really didn't understand what the Development Council was, and now they really understand what Alpena really is all about. And it is about community and people stepping to the plate and helping all organizations across the board.
And you know, our committee and your support, we call ourselves the Fun Committee because we do a lot of fun events. And the one coming up next is Meet and Greet. And that will be held with a Fresh Palate, so be watching for more information on that. And that came about as Tanya Spence, who is the head of our committee, she's something that they did in Minnesota, and she brought it to us, and it's a fun, fun event.
Absolutely. The Annual Sport Committee is a great committee. It's led by Tanya. Of course, you serve on it, but we do a couple of great events. We do the Meet and Greet, which is a traditional meat raffle. We also do a sporting clay shoot. We do a recognition of our Anchor Society members, which is our $100 a year giving club every year at the Yacht Club. And they just do some great things to garner support and raise awareness for the hospital. Some of the other committees, the Business Relations Committee, led by Nancy Monti, that one deals with strictly the businesses in our community and how we can engage them and get their support, and what we can do for them also as far as healthy workplaces and things like that. We just presented the Health Leadership Award to Omega Electric at the annual chamber dinner. So that was very exciting. Our Community Outreach Committee, led by Kathy Guerra, does educational programs. We have a telehealth program coming up in February, so we're excited about that. Our Plan Gifts Committee talks about wills, trusts, estate planning, led by Dylan Wallace. That committee is a lot of insurance agents and attorneys and financial planners and things like that. And then we have our Special Prospects Committee led by Hal Neiman and Ann Burton with dealing with larger gifts. So it's a great mix.
It is, and when I think back to when Dylan got up and started talking, I thought maybe they do have more fun than we do, because it seems like that was a pretty fun committee too. And when you think about planned gifts, it doesn't sound like fun, but he's a great leader, and it sounds like he's got a lot of good people on board with him also.
You know, I always think if you have volunteers that are giving of their time, of their precious time, we got to have a little fun too. So we do a lot of good work, but we have a lot of fun in all committees.
So Ann, what's the best way for people, if they're interested in volunteering or want to find out more about the Tower Project or anything, what's the best way for them to get in touch with you or to get information?
They can just call the hospital and ask for Ann Diamond or administration and let them know what they're looking for, and we'll be glad to get them to the right people.
And you always have a need for more volunteers.
Absolutely, absolutely. Not only on the Development Council, but we have wonderful lobby greeters and surgical escorts and people like that that help in the hospital on 2-hour shifts, and we always can use more people.
And the thing that I like about being on the Anna Support Committee is we always hear what's happening at the hospital. A lot of times you only hear the bad, but we get to hear the good, and if there is something bad, you're addressing it and you're working on it, and it's not something that you're trying to sweep under the rug. You're really going after those good reports.
Absolutely. Led by our new president, Chuck Sherwin. I guess he's not new anymore. He's been there for about 1.5 years now. He has of the philosophy is you can't fix it if you don't know that it's broke. So we welcome any problems with open arms and try to correct those and move forward the best way we can. So we try to let the community know the great things we're doing, but if there are any problems, we want to know those also.
And I just have to have kudos to Chuck too, because one of the first things he talked about at the meeting was how he's engaging the staff, because they're the most important part of everything that you do. It starts there. So it's wonderful that he recognizes that, and he's working with staff to engage them in every aspect of the hospital and what's going on.
Chuck's doing a great job. He's a great leader. He's working with our corporate very well, but he comes from a nursing background. He is a nurse himself, and it's exciting to see him lead this Tower Project also, because he was actively involved in the Cancer Center, which was our last biggest build. Yes. So he was involved as a director of the Cancer Center years ago too. So he's doing a great job.
Well, we're out of time. I want to thank you very much for being here, and once again, congratulations to you and the entire Development Council for all you're doing to make sure that we have great, nearby, affordable health care right in our community.
Well, and thank you for all you do, Nancy.
Thank you. I'll be right back with Katie Wolf from Thunder Bay National Marine Sanctuary following these messages. As promised, I'm back with Katie Wolf from Thunder Bay National Marine Sanctuary. Hi, Katie.
Hi, Nancy. How are you doing today?
Good. How did the film festival go?
Oh, it was a wonderful success. You know, it had a lot of energy throughout the whole festival. We had the largest audience ever in Rogers City, not only on the opening night on Wednesday, but then we went back into some programming on Sunday, and we had a great audience again there. Then went to Harrisville, and then back at the sanctuary for Friday night's gala, Saturday and Sunday. So more than 70 films were shown, and we believe we've reached around 2,000 people.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was a very, very good year.
And when I think of the first year you started out and all the work that everyone's done, and not that you're not doing as much work, but obviously you're doing something right.
Yeah. Well, what's really neat are all the relationships that's developed.
Oh, I bet.
And with the filmmakers now, we have some filmmakers who've come back with films, 3 years in a row, and more films are being made on the sanctuary and Thunder Bay, and Lake Huron than ever. And I really think the film festival had quite a role in helping bring people's interest to Northeast Michigan.
Oh, yay. Well, and like I said, when they come, they don't just go there. They, eat at our restaurants, shop at our retail stores, use our services in our community, so it's a win-win situation for all of us.
And our winter season, when, things are a little bit slower, we get this little boost at the end of January.
Right. And talking about things that are a little slower and a boost, we have a lecture series.
We are. We're getting ready to let out our whole series for the whole year. We've just about, I should say, reveal our whole series for the year. But coming up Tuesday is we have Lieutenant Junior Grade Hunter Brindle, and he's part of a very elite commissioned set of officers. There's only 321 of them in the country.
Wow.
That's part of NOAA. And they're one of the oldest officer corps in the country. So their role has changed over the years, but they're the ones who actually, pilot the planes that go in the eye of the hurricanes.
Oh.
They're present. There's 16 ships that they oversee in the ocean, and then they also have 9 aircraft. And so they are present in the ocean all over the world. And they do a lot with weather, but also anything that NOAA's doing that requires that level of expertise in the ocean.
Wow. So that's exciting. So when is he coming to town?
He's coming on Tuesday, February 18th, and so that's important for people to know because they're used to our lectures also being on Thursdays.
This
is on
Tuesday, yes.
And the doors open at 6:30, and it should be a really fascinating discussion. I think people will really enjoy it.
Well, for an opportunity to have someone in that category with that elite group to come to Alpena and speak, yes, absolutely.
Well, and they do things that very few people have an opportunity to do in a lifetime, so it's very interesting to have them.
Ooh, yes. Okay, and so the next.
Well, I also want to share another result of our film festival.
Okay.
It's been this great relationship that we've developed with Great Lakes Now, which is produced by Detroit Public Television. And so now they're going to be featuring really timely films on Saturdays. So we'll have a new film every month, and this month right now that started last Saturday is called Ships and Shipwrecks.
Okay.
And it's neat because this gets shown all over the country. They are an affiliate with all the public TV stations, but it's really focused on, much of it is on the Thunder Bay National Marine Sanctuary, but it covers everything from, the ferries and tugboats to shipwrecks. So it should be a great film. So you can stop by from noon to 4 and watch it in our theater on Saturdays throughout the month.
Okay, wonderful. And Maritime Festival.
So
I hate to hear about July because it's going too quickly as it is.
We're getting ready. I'm already starting to work on our sponsorships for Maritime Festival because this is our 20th anniversary.
Yes.
So we really want to make this a magnificent experience for everyone. So we're going to start early, and hopefully we will have some really unique and exciting entertainment and features this year. So if you're interested in, we highly publicize the Maritime Festival. It's one of the largest events, I think, in Northeast Michigan.
It definitely is.
It's just a blast. If you haven't been there on July 4th, it really is fun. And there's something for everybody. So if you're a business owner or an organization or an individual and you want to help us celebrate our 20th anniversary, the Maritime Festival is a great event to help sponsor.
So sponsorships will be available, and of course volunteers. It takes hundreds of volunteers to pull off this event where 10,000 people come.
Right. And we're hoping this year we'll have, even more than that with it being our 20th anniversary.
And when I think about Thunder Bay National Marine Sanctuary when they first came, and I always tell the story about I ran into Jeff the second day that he had come into Alpena, or maybe it was the first day, and he gave all these goals that he was going to do, and I thought, oh boy, and I mean, you've reached and exceeded every one of those goals. And when I look at all the signs around town for the robotics things, I think about robotics. That's where that started too. And look at the avenues, and the college has a maritime class now. Those things wouldn't have happened without the sanctuary being in our community.
And I think we're the only school district in, maybe even in the country, that has a program dedicated to science of the sanctuary. So there are a lot of really interesting things, and I'm hoping that over the year we can share that story because it has been pretty impressive.
Yes.
The things that have in those 20 years.
And Lady Michigan, I hear she's going to be back in the water this year.
Everybody, we were at the expo last week, and everybody was asking about Lady Michigan. And so the cool thing about Lady Michigan this year, now we've not only got the engine repaired, but we have a lot of new technology. Particularly the Besser Foundation gave us a grant, and we were able to put the same research technology that you see on our research vessels on the Lady Michigan. So now for our students who are using it as a
Mobile
floating classroom, they will have access to that. But also for passengers on the Lady Michigan now, there'll be a sonar that they will be able to see, just like our researchers use the sonar to identify potential shipwrecks. They'll be able to see as you're heading up toward the shipwrecks, you'll be able to see exactly the type of indicators that our researchers use. And then you get over the shipwreck and you can see a part of it, but with the sonar scanner, you'll be able to see, from a distance a little bit more of the full shape.
Oh, very good.
Plus, we have large screens that we've put into the passenger areas so that they'll be able to get a concept of what the ship originally looked like, what the full scale of the ship is and everything. So it'll be a much richer experience.
Oh, very good. All right, so if someone's interested in booking ahead of time for Lady Michigan, for parties or any kind of events that they're
Right.
doing. I know I've heard about a lot of people that get family reunions together and they go do tours and all kinds of fun groups. So for that and for volunteering for Maritime Festival or attending anything, what's the best way to reach you or the sanctuary?
You can just call 989-884-6200.
Okay.
Or you can go to friends@thunderbayfriends.org and send us a message. Those are all great ways. Or you can stop by. If you just stop by the sanctuary store, at, the front desk, there'll be somebody there to help you.
Perfect. And I just want to say one more time, this Tuesday, February 16th, doors open at 6:30. This is a great event, a chance to see this in Alpena. Make sure that you're there because you wouldn't get a chance to see this again for some time.
And it's February 18th.
It is February 18th.
Tuesday the 18th.
Yeah, don't get it wrong, February 18th. Thank you so much, Katie.
Thank you, Nancy.
Please stay tuned for Dr. Don McMaster following these messages.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Dr. Don McMaster, president of Alpena Community College. Very pleased to have as our guest this morning Logan Gunther, ACC basketball player and a sophomore. Welcome. And Coach Mark Jacobs.
Thank you.
ACC basketball team. So, 2 wins last week. Very cool. And a good game Wednesday this week. Coach, what's your take on where we are?
Well, we're starting to gel. I know it's near the end of the season, but this is a team that I've told everybody about. Right now we're moving the ball great. We're playing together as a unit. It's been a lot of fun. And our big, mantra is, expect to win. Let's not hope to win. And the whole attitude, everything is just absolutely, we're gelling. We've got a couple guys back. We're hitting our outside shots, which opens up insides for guys like Logan. So things are going well. We've got 6 games in the last 9 days, and we're going to finish strong.
Yeah. Logan, how are you enjoying your sophomore year?
I'm loving it. I love all the guys, from all the starters to all the new guys. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a leader on the team. It looks to me, especially on the floor. I would imagine you're one of the leading scorers and probably the leading rebounder on the team.
Yeah, that doesn't matter to me though.
Yeah.
Just try to get the win. That's all I care about.
Well, it's been a pleasure watching you, and it was a deeply moving Wednesday this week when you guys played Henry Ford. There was the pink game, and that is the pink game is to raise awareness for cancer and raise money for cancer research and treatment. And you and your mom spoke, and I was moved by it, and everyone in the crowd was as well. So your mom is suffering from cancer?
Yeah, she's suffering from stage 4 mantle cell lymphoma, and she was diagnosed this last June or July. It's been a really rough time for our family, and it's just tough.
Yeah.
It's tough every day.
Well, the love she had for you and the love you had for her was very evident. And her comments were very down to earth and straight from the heart, and they hit people. It struck me, one of the things that she said that was most delightful was your team surprising her at a fundraiser up in your hometown of Sheboygan. Coach, that must have been your doing.
Yeah, but again, with Logan, there's going to be a couple of guys going to go up there with Logan, and everybody said, let's all do it. So it was a team effort, and it was really a neat evening. A lot of support. I mean, wonderful lady, and obviously a great young man. But it's just one of those things where you can just, you can feel that love and that bond. And I also, tell Logan, I mean, when she's having a bad day, he's got to have a good day, because as you know, as a parent,
Yes.
Your kids have good days, you have great days. If your kids have bad days, you have bad, really bad days. So again, I think his season's really got, the thoughts away from, other things going on, in their lives. So again, he's been the positive, force, right now during some tough times, for not only her, but for the entire family and for the team and the program. But again, he's really, stepped up as a young man and, matured because of
Yes.
this difficult situation.
That's a really important point, and I think it sometimes gets lost in intercollegiate athletics, the role and the importance of just young people having the opportunity to mature, and that it's and grow into themselves and become adults.
Absolutely.
And because, as I often say, we don't send too many people from ACC into the NBA. What we're trying to do is what you do and what you did in taking your team up to Logan's mom's benefit. So it creates a team. It's a very important team lesson, so I commend you for that.
Yeah, and again, it's a life lesson because that's unfortunately one of the tough life lessons that people have to go through. But he's come through shining.
So I hear you're going to Olivet.
Yes, I'm going back. Just committed earlier this week, and I'm very excited for the opportunity.
Wonderful. And tell me about your studies. What are you studying, and how has your academics gone at ACC?
My academics have gone good here and there, dealing with my anxiety disorder and everything from last year and into this year. I'm going into exercise science down at Olivet, and in the pre-physical therapy here at ACC.
Wonderful. And you've had some good teachers? And
Yes, wonderful teachers.
Good deal. Well, I have to give a shout out to my old friend Max Lindsay, who's on the Alumni Hall of Fame down at Olivet. When you go into their field house there, you'll see his picture on the wall, little crew cut, a little bit later back then. But that's a wonderful school. And a great conference. Coach, that's got to make you feel good.
Yeah, it really is. And they've got a really nice program there. Their coach just came from Alma last year, but they've got some junior college players, so he's kind of building around some leaders. They got a couple guys from Mott's team from last year.
Okay.
And they really keyed in on Logan because they really think that his game is what they're missing right now. So I'm thrilled for him. Again, our goal is onward and upward. And again, show some guidance here and then watch them just absolutely continue to flourish. So I'm really, really proud of them.
Do you hope to eventually come back into the Sheboygan area and work, or?
No, not really. I'm looking near Grand Rapids area or Ann Arbor. That's where our family's moving this next year, Ann Arbor. So,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, we'll miss your low post game. That is.
Yes, we will.
Yes, not a lot of young people play that game anymore, where you get the ball, you post up, get the ball, and get it to the hoop, can shoot with either hand. Yeah, it's a good game. And Coach, how the week ahead looks good?
Actually, we've got, like I said, a lot of games coming up. We're positive, we're ready to roll. Like I said, everything's clicking. And again, we get some more W's, finish this year strong, send these sophomores out on a really strong note.
Well, I appreciate what you do, and I think the people in the stands do too. I know we did Wednesday, and pass along our best to your mom, and we wish her well. We thank you both, and we thank you both all for watching Talk of the Town, and we'll see you again next week.
This has been Talk of the Town with your host, Nancy Smitham and Dr. Don McMaster. For a list of community events taking place in Northeast Michigan, please visit our website at WBKB11.com and click on our community link. This has been a Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation production.